Okay, guys, we are in the book of Leviticus, number 18. This is an important study here. I want to show you something that the Lord has laid in my heart to share with you. Alright, this chapter is very important. This is chapter 18. In my Bible it says forbidden sexual practices, but as I'm going to show you, this entire chapter is about carnal sin. And this includes having sex with people that you're not supposed to have sex with, including homosexuality, and including animality, which is having sex with animals. Just going to go through a brief overview of this chapter. It's very important. But the key thing that I want you to notice is how God disciplines people who disobey this command. Okay? And this is what's going on now in the U.S. You have people who are committing broad ranges of carnal sin, whether it be homosexuality, whether it be adultery, and whether it be sleeping with animals, or whether it be human sacrifices. That's another thing I wanted to add. This chapter talks about human sacrifices and sacrifices onto false gods. So, just gonna go over it real quick. Nothing. I don't have no fancy special effects. Just want you guys to learn something and grow spiritually and in discipleship and in love. Holy Spirit led wisdom. So here we go. As you can clearly see, this is my Bible. I have 4 different translations. It's a side-by-side Bible. This is good for studying, right? See, then it tells you, alright, don't get all fadey on me now. Why is it fading? Don't fade. Why is it doing this? Okay. Give me a second here. Let me adjust. Let me focus out for a second. Sorry, guys. I want this to be... I don't want you guys to get dizzy or anything. Okay, and then this has the New Living Translation, NIV, New King James, and the Message. But if you are a scholar of the Bible, it's good to have as many resources as you can, and it'll help you grow spiritually. Holy Spirit can show you different translations and different things. And okay, so let's get into this. So now, you very well may know, New Mexico and Texas, you got floods, you got wildfires, and you got earthquakes, right? Now, with carnal sin, the judgment of God is the land will spew you out or will spit you out. So you cannot continue in your sin and expect God not to punish you, as I will show you here. So now it says here, then the Lord said to Moses, he says, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. I am the Lord your God. Do not act like the people of Egypt, where you used to live, or like the people of Canaan, where I am taking you. Do not imitate their way of life. Okay. So now, God is, this is before he takes Egypt into Canaan, right? God's telling the people, don't imitate Israel and don't imitate Canaan, okay? And what is God saying? Don't imitate what? Right? Then it says, chapter 18, verse 8. Then it talks about, do not have sexual relations with any of your father's wives, and this will violate your father. Then it keeps going on. Do not have sexual relationships with such and such person, such and such person. It's very profound, very descriptive. God is very specific. Do not have sexual relations with both woman and her daughter. That's verse 17, and so on and so forth. Then this is all the way up to. Then up to in verse 20 it says, "Do not defile yourselves by having sexual intercourse with your neighbor's wife." And then after that, this was I was reading, and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing." Verse 21 says, "Do not permit any of your children to be offered as a sacrifice to Molech." The Lord spoke to me. He said that includes abortion. People sacrifice their children to false beliefs or false God, Molech, and that includes abortion. All right, abortion is a big one in this country. Then verse 22 says, "Do not practice homosexuality. Having sex with other men as with a woman is a detestable sin." Verse 22, "A man must not defile himself by having sex with an animal." Right? Verse 24, this is where God starts going into the judgment. This is what's going on in New Mexico, California, Texas. This is the judgment. This is what's going on right now. "Do not defile yourself any of these ways, for the people I am driving out before you have defiled themselves in all these ways." So he's talking about Canaan. He's going to drive Canaan out because they've done all these things. So Canaan is not going to be allowed to stay in that land. He says God himself is driving them out. All right? He says, "I am driving them. I am driving out before you." Then God says, how is he going to drive them out? He says, "Because the land has been defiled, I am punishing the people who live there. I will cause the land to vomit them out." He's going to make the land, he's going to cause it to vomit them out. Right? Then look at verse 27. He says, "All these detestable activities are practiced by the people of the land where I am taking you." Right? That's Canaan. He says, verse 28, he says, "Do not defile the land and give it a reason to vomit you out. It will vomit out the people who live there now." Right? So, I believe this is what's going on in New Mexico, Texas, California, and all these things. And if you think you can continue to live in sin and not obey the Lord and live in peace, it's not going to happen. God's going to remove you from the land. He's going to take you out of there. He's going to cause the land to spit you out. I hope you learned something today. And if God brings you across this video, then this video is for you. And God bless you.